out until this is straight up. Okay, so that's one reason I like to keep that in my hand, is because as I'm walking, when it gets tight, I've got that much of a shock absorber, right? Whereas if it's like this and it gets tight, I got nothing. So I just gotta stop. So,
But that's only after you drop both of them.
I carry it by the handle, just because
Yeah,
it's
like this.
comfortable.
Oh, you don't actually put it in?
Yeah, you don't have to. You could go
I
like
don't.
this or
I just carry it by the handle like that.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the hose I'm pulling by this, right? The hose isn't, I've only got a 50-foot stick. Once this one drops, I've only got a 50-foot stick. I can pull that one by hand easy. Now, if I was gonna continue and try to drag all this shit across the ground and go pull all of that stuff, absolutely. I'd have it over my shoulder, wrapped around my waist, and I had to dig into it. I couldn't pull it, just my arm. Okay, so now put that in your right hand. Okay. So now he's just got to make like a loop. And he's aiming for the halfway point of this last stick of hose. A little further right. Okay. So now he's found his halfway point. And this is another one of those IFSTA things. So every place else in the real world keeps to that coupling. So you have a nice big 50-foot loop. For some reason, IFSTA says halfway. So since this is a state testable skill, we have to do it that way. So halfway. So sit it down. He's going to pass it under this piece of hose, 6 to 8 inches. So he wants 6 to 8 inches of hose right there. So from the end of your nozzle to the edge of this hose should be about 6 inches. And the reason you don't want it longer is because I'm sitting on this thing. The longer it is, the further I got to reach out and try to fight with this thing. I want it all right here, nice and comfortable, because I'm probably going to be sitting on this thing a while, right? Okay.
Sure. Can I flake out this a little bit
We're
out?
getting there. Cool your jets there, Sonny. Okay, so he's going to put it under there. He's going to do his 6 to 8 inches. When you lift this up, just lift it up just enough to get the nozzle under there. A lot of people lift it up like that, put the nozzle under, now they got all that slack. The problem is, if the slack is on this side, like that, and I tie this off like you're supposed to, once it gets charged, all that slack is going to push my entire thing that way. It's going to knock you off balance. So if you do have slack, make sure you get it on this side, because that will just push through and be absorbed in your loop, okay?
Sir, question. You said the 6 inches is starting from
From the end of the nozzle.
webbing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 to 8 inches. Okay, now, the reason we put it under the hose is that's our partner, right? That's helping us fight that extra weight in the hose. On top of that hose, helping us fight that nozzle motion. So now he's gonna find 10 feet, whatever he thinks is 10 feet. 10 feet. So he's going to grab right there, 10 feet, and he's going to pull from this side, and he's going to walk it straight behind whatever he's aiming at. So if his nozzle, if he's aiming at that yellow or that orange car, then he's going to go 10 feet straight behind the nozzle. You just drop it. Okay? So what's that 10? Why do I need 10 feet straight behind my nozzle?
So that the weight can keep the nozzle balanced.
Help me fight what?
Nozzle reaction.
Nozzle reaction, exactly. Okay? So now at this point, once you get your 10 feet out, you're going to tie this off. We're not going to tie this off every time today because it just takes too much time. So there's a million different ways you could do it. The easiest way is just to tie a,
Like you're tying your shoes.
yeah, just tie yourself a simple little, nice loose little square knot.
Sir, if it was in a water knot, would you use a lark's foot?
You can, but then you got to secure the lark's foot to something.
Yes, sir.
So here's the thing. So what he's asking is, if my loop was in or my strap webbing was in a loop, how would I do it? So now my webbing's in a loop. So I can still do the same thing. I can still do just a square knot like that. Yep. Okay, or I could do a lark's foot. The thing about the lark's foot is I got to secure the other end of it to something. So if I do a lark's foot, I if I do my lark's foot, I still got to secure this to something. So, I mean, I can do it, but then I just have to do a little half hitch down here. Like that. Okay.
This one.
So for today, you're gonna get your 10 feet, then you're gonna say, okay, we tie it off, then you're gonna sit down. So sit down on there, right, sit your ass right on the X, so that that 10-foot thing is right up your ass crack. Okay, crisscross applesauce like kindergarten, get it set up so you're comfortable, then you call for water.
Water!
Okay, he'll send water down here, we'll play around with the nozzle for a little bit, then I'll tell him to shut it down. He's gonna shut it down. When I tell you this is shut it down. If you're on the valve, shut the valve, and then come out to this first coupling and break those two couplings and lay them out so they're together. Okay. And then go back to the panel and walk out that last stick. Walk the water out of it, okay? This one, he's gonna leave the bail open so that air will go in and it'll help it drain. So leave the bail open, he's gonna walk it back out. So pick it up, walk it back out. Walking out straight, whoever was working with him, whoever's in his group,